Welcome to the channel. I'm Stacy, and my goal here is to help you to play better and sound better in your worship services. While I wasn't able to record my in-ear monitor mix this week, I forgot my audio recorder. I've got it taped to the boom stand for recording these videos. I just forgot to pack it up. But I am going to go through the rig that I had set up for Sunday, and I did a different thing with the amps, and I just want to walk you through that. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully it's inspiring to help you find new ways to find the sound in your head so that you're able to use that in your services. All right, so for the board, I had the compressor. Same settings I've been using lately. I've got the sustain at 9 o'clock, levels at about 3. The big changes happened when I did, and I'll get to this in a second. The big changes happened because of the amps that I used. So I have the drive on the carbon set at 9 o'clock. The level is at noon. It's the gain, the overdrive. And then on the ODR-1, I have the drive set at about 2, which is also about 9 o'clock. And then the level is up 4.5. The spectrum I adjust just to get me the right amount of cut, but still the right amount of kind of lower mid, a little bit more fullness. Sometimes when you turn up a tone control, your tone can get thin. So trying to keep it from getting thin, but also keeping it a little bit more full. All right, so, but on the HX Stomp, I've got my TwinMatch set up, and I have the first block on that one is an optical trim. I've got it set with the volume sensitivity at about 35%, and this lets me swell in for the beginning of the joy. I get that ramped tremolo that kind of speeds up and slows down. Real cool for that part. The signal chain on the HX Stomp is the optical trim into the effects loop that has the Revelation and the Eternity by Jet. After that, I have a noise gate to kill the hiss coming off that loop. And then we're going into those 2 amps, the Matchstick Channel 1 and the Twin Reverb, each with their own cabs. The Matchstick Channel 1 is the H30 cab. The Twin Reverb is the appropriate 212. And then the simple EQ at the end to bump the holy mid-range. And for that, I'm bumping the 777 hertz at 1.5 decibels. And that just gives the digital amps a bit more of a fuller amp in the room kind of feel. And then I'm also bumping the low gain. I like that frequency being pushed a little bit more rather than pushing bass on the amps. I think it sounds better. When you push the bass up on the amps, you can get flubby, and that's not something I'm after. So, and then I also bumped the high gain at 2.5 decibels, and this is just to kind of give it a little bit of a crisp finish. I'm going to run through the pedals off and on for each one, and then I'll go through the tones I had set up for each song. So we got the compressor. Just run through that real quick. And here's the amp without any effects. I do have a little bit of delay and reverb just to give it something so it's not super dry. And then the compressor off and then on. And the carbon off and on. And then the ODR-1. So the songs we did this week were The Joy, Made for More, and let's see what that third one was called. What He's Done. What He's Done. Sometimes I have to change the name on the preset because the full song title doesn't fit, and I'll edit that a little bit. And I did that on one recently, but this wasn't it. The song is What He's Done. So I've got the let's see, the information sent to the pedals. So real quick, I mostly hung out on Snapshot 1 for this song. And here's what that sounded like. And Snapshot 2, that comes in good for kind of down bridges when I'm doing rakes. It's just a little bit more delay, a little bit more reverb. And then Snapshot 3, and I'll show you how that works with the trem when I go through those parts. So the bits for the Joy that I played, I swell in with that tremolo. And then, let's see, I do some swells, some rakes, and then some good rock and roll chords. But that sounds like this with the trem. We swell in with that and we go in pretty quick into the intro, and that sounds like this. That's kind of what I'm doing on that song. Just big rock and roll chords. I like the sound of it. It feels right. And then it complements well to the melodic stuff that the other guitar player is doing. The next song we did was Made for More. And for that one, I went to the neck pickup. I'm on the bridge pickup. For both songs I played rhythm on. And then went to the neck pickup for this one. It swells in at the beginning. And then I kind of like work my way from like snapshot 3 for the beginning, snapshot 2 for the first chorus, and then snapshot 1 for most of it after that. And the snapshots sound like this. Snapshot 1, 2, a little bit louder repeat, longer decay, 3. I have the pre-delay on the Revelation set at 100 milliseconds, and I love the way it blooms and it just like starts to open up after it has already started. I just love that. I noticed that on a couple of the songs that we had this week. So for that one, I'm swelling in. I forget exactly the progression, but I'm playing the melodic stuff, so I'm playing a little bit up higher. The third one we did was What He's Done. And for that one, I'm starting off with the swell setup. And I'm doing double stops for the chords. And I'll walk you through that in a second. But the snapshots sounds are like this. I use snapshot 3 for the beginning. Snapshot 2, I think, as the for rakes and for lighter stuff. And then when it got more heavy kind of rock chord stuff, I'm on to snapshot 1. And for those double stops, I just picked a couple of notes, a couple of strings to pluck, and then I'm fretting the whole chord, but I just wanted to have specific stuff to play, and it complemented what the keyboard player was doing. right, that's how I had things set up this past week. I like changing things up with the amps especially, and then that will dictate what I do with pedals. Like I said, with the amps, as you're able to push the drive on an amp, that's going to be like your input volume. It will change how it takes pedals. And so it's always fun just to figure that out. I wasn't expecting to turn my gain down on that carbon so much, but by using the Twin Reverb, which is a high headroom amp, I was able to push the level on that quite a bit higher, and that gave it less need for drive being pushed by the pedals. All right, I hope you found this one helpful. If you did, subscribe and hit that like button for good measure. If you need song resources, there are a handful of links in the description box below to take you where you need to go. There are a handful of downloads free for you in there as well. All right, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.